Computer. Okay. All right. We are recording. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm excited to see y'all bright, smiley faces. We're just talking about how this is such an amazing month, this March Madness craziness. We've never had a month like this ever in Beth's 6 years and my almost 6 years with this company. And so we want to make sure that we are taking advantage of every opportunity that is given us this month. And if you are a business builder, or even if you just want to get your products paid for, that you are taking advantage of all the opportunities this month. So real quick, we will go over just some housekeeping things to remember for this month. And then we are going to hear from some iPad earners, just a couple of tips on what they did to make sure they got their iPad. And then at the very end, we will do a little power hour, not even an hour, just a power minutes so that we can all work together, because working together is fun, right? So real quick, okay, so we don't want you to miss out on anything. We still have lots of time in the month. This is a long month. So the fact that we have a long month, they told us, we knew last month that we were going to get 6 codes if we were active, right? And now they've announced that new ambassadors get 3 codes. They want those new ambassadors to turn silver, lickety split. And so the brand new ones are getting 3 codes. There should not be a wasted code. So I know I've been given some codes from some people that are not business builders. So if you need a code, let me know. I've got some for you, but everybody should have codes for their new people. I have on here in my notes to make sure I told y'all that no's are okay. So if you're talking to people and they tell you no, that's okay. No worries. I'm here when you're ready is what you reply with. Y'all have already had somebody change their mind already this month. She's already changed her mind, and we are going to meet for lunch tomorrow about the business opportunity. So she went from no, complete no, to, oh, can I actually make some money with that? Yes, let's talk about this. So we're having lunch. She's going to be my 6th one, and then I'll have my iPad. So I'm very excited about that. Even if today is your very first day to reach out to people, it's okay. You still have plenty of time to get started today to work on getting your iPad. So don't think if you haven't done anything yet that you've missed out, because you still have plenty of time. Okay, this week's health and happiness tours. Last night was Nashville, and tonight is going to be Springdale, Arkansas. Wednesday night is Atlanta. Next week is Columbus, Ohio, and Richmond, Virginia. So if you are in any of those cities, make sure that that you go to the health and happiness tour, that you invite people, that even if you're not in those cities, but you know somebody in those cities, invite them to go. Because all the cities now are doing the pilot like I did for Dallas, where it's actually where you go in and you go to the different stations and you get to try and sample things and you get to hear testimonies. It's not a sit-down PowerPoint presentation anymore because it took off. And so anyway, if you have to bring your kiddo, there were all 3 that I hosted, there were kids at each one. So don't freak out about bringing your kids, especially to these that are more of the casual style. I forgot what they're calling it now, but where you can actually just walk in at any point and leave at any point. Okay, it's not like you're going to have to get up and leave in front of everybody. So there were strollers there. Do not worry about it. Bring your kids if you need to. Make sure that you are a part of the Plexus Ambassador community, because they are posting. There's one today, actually. There's a training today at 3 my time, Central Time. And they post all the different time zones, because I told them, I said, I'm not the only one that is time zone challenged here. Please post all the time zones. And so in the Plexus Ambassador community, all you have to do to join that is give them your ID number and you can be in. If you invite your team members to that, where there's a place that says you can invite somebody, if they don't accept that invitation and turn in their ID, they are not a part of that group. So follow up with them, say, make sure that you set your ID in and that you're a part of that group so that you get all those things from corporate, because they're posting testimonies, they're posting trainings, they're giving us lots of good, helpful hints in there. So you want to make sure that you're part of that group and set your notifications to where you're getting your notifications on those groups. We have AIM, which is the Artificial Intelligence Messenger. So have you started getting those where it'll send you a text and say you need to follow up with so-and-so? These are people that the artificial intelligence machine or whatever it is program is finding people that it detects that they will be leaving soon, but just by their patterns. And so it's a really good thing. Make sure that you're following up with them and then that you hit okay or done in a timely fashion, because on one I sent done too late and it was like, sorry, the time is up. I'm like, well, you are bossy. But anyway, I had already followed up. I just forgot to hit done. So make sure you hit done so then it sends you the next one. We are about a month away from officially launching in Australia. So if you have anybody in Australia, you know anybody in Australia, make sure they know about Plexus, because if they join now, they're going to be one of the first ones to take off when we officially launch next month. We have a convention contest going on. Is there anybody here excited about these new codes, all these codes and stuff? I mean, our convention credits are going up like crazy. So make sure that you are, you have the rules printed out. You have the frequently asked questions. If you have any questions in there, everything is in your virtual office that you can find about the convention contest. And also make sure you're registered for convention. Who here is registered for convention? I can see some faces here and some hands. It's awesome. You do not want to miss it, okay? Do what you have to do to get there. Even one year, my daughter was graduating from high school and convention fell that week, and there was something for church that she was, it was right in the middle. I literally went to convention for a day and a half and flew home because I was not going to miss, even just, if I could just get a little bit of it, that's what I was going to do. So you do not want to miss convention. Y'all make sure that you register for that. They opened 2,500 spots at the beginning of this month. So I don't know where they are on filling those up, but they'll close it again and then they'll open again later. They want to make sure that new ambassadors have that opportunity to get registered as well as existing ambassadors. So make sure you go register if you haven't yet. Also register if your spouse is thinking about going, they need to be registered as well if they're going to go to convention. So you can register as a guest, or if they're not an ambassador, you can register them as a guest. You have until May 15th to get your money back. Okay. So don't fret if you're thinking, oh, there's a chance they might not go. There's a chance it's going to sell out and they can't go. So if you think they might go, register, and then you can cancel by May 15th. In your virtual office, okay, if y'all haven't been there in a while, I want you to, after this call, I want you to go to training and then to resource library. Okay, there's so much good stuff back there. The Send, Share, Invite system is all laid out for you. If you are brand new or if you are, a seasoned veteran ambassador, the Send, Share, Invite system is back there, including videos. And so make sure that you know where those are for yourself and for your newbie so that you can show them around back there. There's also under incentives and promotions, there's the Fresh Start and Fast Start bonuses. Y'all, never ever has there been a time where we can get so many bonuses for turning silver, okay? So if you have a newbie, they can earn, $440 just by getting 3 of their friends to join, within the first 14 days, okay? That's including the business building bonuses, their points, and the Fast Start bonuses. So make sure that they know about that. Also, there's a Slim Down meal plan back there. Even if it's too late to sign up for the Slim Down Challenge, but the meal plan's back there. So if you have somebody signing up with one of the weight loss packages, I'm encouraging them to go back there, pull up that Slim Down meal plan so that they have something to follow. Because sometimes people just want that. They want that a place to check the boxes, right? Where, that they're eating correctly and doing the right thing. So that is all I have. Beth, did I miss anything on our rundown of things to remember for this month?
I don't think so. Hold on. Let me look at our text that we were going back and forth on.
So we talked about
Super Silver. Super Silver is still a thing. You need 50. You cannot have ever hit it before, and you need 50 credits. And welcome packs count as mock credits for Super Silver. So that's another bonus. So essentially, think about it, guys. Somebody that could join today could still even do Super Silver, especially with all these free codes this month. So that's a huge thing. That's the only other thing that I had typed out. Yeah.
Is there anybody on this call Super Silver? Maybe.
Maybe. See, I have a couple going for it, but I don't think they're on here right now.
Okay. Well.
Oh, hey, Luke's school is calling. I will hop right back on.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and hear from some of these iPad earners. Hang on. And so, I see Angela on here. Where'd she go? There you are. Are you good? Do you want to start so that you can hop off if you need to?
Yeah, that'd be good because I don't want to wake up.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to hear from Angela first. Share some of your tips. I mean, this girl, is juggling 3 kids and including babies, and so let's hear from her and let's hear how you earned that iPad.
Cool. So, I would say first of all, I just want to kind of throw it out there. Make sure you guys are focusing on action over results. I have learned that there's been plenty of months that I didn't earn the incentive, and I don't want you guys to be discouraged if you work so hard and doesn't get there, because it's all about timing for people. So if you're focusing on your action and you're doing your IPA every single day, you're doing what you need to do, it's either going to happen or your fruit's going to come later. So you're not going to lose here. So keep that in mind. There was one month that I remember I didn't get the planner and I was so mad. But it's one of those things. It depends on all your people. You can message people every single day, and it depends on their timing. So just don't get discouraged. One thing that I think helped me with this one is before I had my 3rd baby here, which was last month, I was working on consistent power pockets. So that was at the time I was using Teamzy, which now I'm using Dough. I don't know if any of you guys are on there, but it's so good. I'm so impressed with it. I love that they've got Instagram in there and just everything that, I would waste my time on, thinking through, scrolling, who should I message? And then it's what should I say to them? Dough takes care of all of that. So I was using Teamzy at the time, and I just made sure that even in the midst of the crazy, I sat down for 15, 20 minutes and blasted through having conversations. I remember one thing Emily Gibson talks about is the more conversations you're having, the more successful you're going to be. So just reach out to people, add value to people, be kind, be a friend. It doesn't always look like, hey, do you want to buy Plexus? There's a lot of ways it can look in the way you're building your business. So first tip would be consistent, focus on action over results. And then I would say my second tip would be to build value. So one way I've been doing that is through Instagram stories. I don't have all these amazing huge tips of how to do all these things, but I just try to get on there and just radiate some sort of positivity, and just share what I'm doing. Maybe I share this morning I took a picture of this seasoning that I use that I thought was really good, or just little random things like that. And then if people are following you because you're giving them value, they're going to be oh, what's that pink drink that you're mixing up? Why do you have all this energy? So whether that's on Instagram, Facebook, but if you're adding value and being somebody positive, they're going to be much more open to what you have to share. So that's the second thing. And then the last thing is just urgency. So kind of an example of what I've been sending people as a follow-up is kind of something along the lines of hey girl, I know we had talked in the past, you were considering Plexus because you wanted, considering Plexus for XYZ, kind of look back in that conversation and see what you had talked about, which will take some extra time, but it makes a difference. Really pull those specific things in so they know you're not just copy pasting, and just say, I wanted to let you know corporate gifted me with a few of these codes that waive your entire membership fee of $40. Plus you're going to get, I said something plus on top of that, you get 40% off of your starter bundle, kind of just making them understand they got off of their welcome pack. So it's wow, I get $40 off plus I get 40% off, or I say 30 to 40, whatever. Most of them are about 40% off the retail for the welcome packs. And then I just say, I only have a few, but I thought of you first. I wanted to just check in. No big deal if it's not the right timing for you, but do you want me to save one back for you? Or do you want me to reserve one for you? And, either they get back to me or they don't. But because I kind of put it out there like that, hey, I have other people that I want to give this to, at least they kind of usually will get back to you instead of just ignoring you. And then Alicia said, just kind of release them with kindness. If they say no, be okay, totally not a big deal. And just keep moving on. But I would say that's pretty much what I've been doing. I don't have a lot of time. And so I just do little pockets here and there. So hopefully that helps somebody.
I think you had some really good points there, and to remember that, you know what, if you don't earn the iPad, what's the worst thing that'll happen here? You still grew your team, right? I mean,
Right.
action is definitely what we're born for here, and usually the way corporate works is they'll give us an incentive, and then the next month's incentive or contest or whatever will be based from this month's or from the previous months, right? So they're probably going to do something around all these newbies next month is what I'm guessing. And so even if you don't earn the iPad, you'll still be ahead of the game for whatever's coming for next month is what I'm thinking. And I mean, you're still going to get business building bonuses. You're still going to grow your team, and you're still planting seeds for when they are ready to join. So those are some great tips, Angela, and being, building value and bringing value to people with other things as well. I think those are all great tips. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Kristen, are you ready to go? Okay.
Sure, I'll go. Can you hear me okay? Mine's a little delayed, so I don't know, because I have country internet. I always warn my team before we get started, if I go somewhere, don't worry, I'll probably pop back on because you never know out here in the boondocks. So, my first little piece of advice is positive mindset. I know in this business it can be hard and we go through peaks and valleys, but luckily I feel like this month is a peak for a lot of us. And I just love the quote that says, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So it starts with you. So before you send your messages or make your post, just remember to read some positive affirmations. And like Alicia said, if you don't earn the iPad this month, you're growing your team. People are seeing your posts. Continue to post consistently. And you have to be reaching out to people, especially this month. I try to reach out to 5 to 10 a day. And I love the urgency that that Angela spoke about. And I send something similar because I have my husband's codes, my codes, and then we also have a post team page for any wholesale customers, and it's called No Code Left Behind. And I think Brianne Coolidge came up with it, so a lot of us borrowed it. And it's just we're giving away an Amazon gift card for anyone who donates their codes. So we're kind of spreading those out. I know the new ambassadors get 3, so we're using some of those other ones for their additional 3 so that those new ambassadors can hopefully get the iPad as well. As far as messaging goes, like I said, I try to message 5 to 10 friends a day, and I am not super organized, honestly, when it comes to keeping track of who I'm following up with. I love Messenger because I can just scroll all my messages, and I do that once or twice a week and see where I left off. And if they haven't replied, I used to just, say, okay, great, I'll be here when you're ready. But I've learned, especially this month, in the last couple of months, I like to ask questions. And so I'll say, if you don't mind me asking, what's holding you back? Like, why no? I mean, I don't really say why no, but what's holding you back? And then we start that conversation, and usually it's money or time, or they just have these hesitations that I like to talk out with them. And I think 2 or 3, like Alicia said, have changed their mind when I start talking about it. And I said, well, this month, if it's the money thing, I'm all about helping my friends get their products paid for. So why don't we try it? You have a 60-day money back guarantee, because sometimes if they say no, we haven't even got to the 60-day money back guarantee talk. And when I explain that to them, it kind of releases that sense of my money's gone forever, if they're, worried about that. So I like when they say no, not right now, or no, or if they give me crickets and they don't say anything, I will say, hey, what's holding you back? What's stopping you? You're not going to hurt my feelings. I just want to hear. Like, that's why I love doing this. I just want to get everyone's feedback, whether you're ready or not. Let's talk about it. So I think just being sincere and the urgency, and I think I mentioned this, I said, one of my messages was, hey, I have 3 codes left. Are you ready to get started? Super short, super simple, 2 sentences for them to read. And if they don't write you back, that's when, I'll follow up in a week or 2 and say, hey, what's holding you back? These codes are going to be gone. I don't want you to miss this amazing savings. You're going to save $40. Like, just let them hear your passion. I love voice messaging. So those are a few tips. And if anyone has questions, I'm happy to answer them in the chat.
Those are some really good points. I think just being positive, like you said, before making that call, and just thinking, okay, I'm going to get some yeses today, and just be positive about your business and not stress about the no's, because you never know what that other person, and a lot of times they just don't answer us, right? They just ignore the message. And so that's not a no, but it's not a yes, but it's not a no, right? Until they give you a hard no. And then even those hard no's can sometimes turn around. And in fact, that one that told me the hard no, and it was because they were selling their house, and she said all her money is going towards, these 2 house payments or whatever. I'm like, well, what if you earned extra money to help furnish the new house? Would that be something you'd be interested in? And it got her to turn that hard no to a, well, how much money could I make? To a, let's have lunch and talk about this, because I don't want you to miss out on one of my codes, And so I think, like you said, talking it out is a really, really good tool. So, and the goal of 5 to 10 friends a day is huge. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you add it up, if you did 10 a day, that's 50 a week. That can change your business right there. And it's really not asking you to do a whole lot out of your day. So those are some really, really good tips. Hannah, can you go next? Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay, so I'm a Gold Ambassador. I have 4 kids, so I'm pretty busy. And I just want to say that it doesn't matter what rank you are, you can earn the iPad, and the amount of time doesn't matter either. I'm going to preface this with like a short little story. So for a couple of months, I was having kind of like a dry season where I wasn't getting a lot of ambassadors coming on board. And it was really difficult because that had never been the case for me with Plexus. I have always been very consistent with adding at least 3 ambassadors each month. And then you start to like question yourself. And like Angela said, you got to get yourself positive. I think Kristen said that as well. And in the right mindset. Well, this month, I wasn't real sure about like winning the iPad. I don't necessarily need an iPad, that type of a thing. But when they said that we could have the opportunity to get the $400 voucher, I was like, okay, so here's the story. I found out that my brother-in-law was getting married in Korea, and it was going to be the same time as convention. Well, the Lord worked it out that they moved it up for 2 weeks. And I was like, even though it's not during the same time, I just really don't think that we're going to have that extra money 2 weeks later to be able to do this. And so when they said that voucher, I was like, okay, God, I'm giving this to you. You know what my past few months have been, but you also know that I've been consistent. And so like they were talking about, consistency is key, literally. Reaching out daily, 5, 10, some days you can have more, some days you have less. I mean, especially me with 4 kids, and they're all 7 and under. So being consistent with that, but even with your posting, and one thing that I would say with posting is you don't have to always have them be a Plexus post. It can be information that is nothing, it is to do with Plexus, but nothing to do with Plexus all at the same time. So like, for example, I did a post on magnesium deficiency. A girl reached out to me and she's planning to join me or whatever this next week. So you don't always have to be in your face, hey, join me. But going back to the story, so since then, I have gotten 7 people, and I'm on my way to the $400 voucher, which I'm super excited for. And that was the one thing I was like, God, if you want me to go to convention, you got to help me do this. So I'm really big into prayer, and my thing is work hard but pray harder. And so through this whole process, no matter who I've reached out to, I've like said a prayer over them and a prayer over our conversation. So here's like a little snippet of what I've been saying. And it's really simple to the point, and I always end in a question. So I put, hiya, like just being silly. Some people might say, hey girl. Since I hit my goal last month, Plexus gave me these extra incentive codes, and I wanted to know if you would want to join wholesale or something like that. Or at the end, I changed it to, I got these Plexus codes for wholesale. Do you want to join? And so like super short, 2 sentences, and I've gotten more responses off of that than what I did the previous month. So last month, no joke, I was giving out, because I wanted that double bonus thing, the two people, the promo, the extra points. I was doing get a free membership, free shipping, and $20 off. And I'm like, why is no one biting? So I literally believe that in God's timing, and like the other girls were saying, that sometimes it's not the right time for certain people, but I also think that sometimes God lines it up when you need it the most. So don't get depressed if you don't get the iPad, because like they were saying, you're going to be growing your team. And I'm just like, I'm in awe of how quickly I got it, because it was within like a week's time that I got the iPad, and I'm on my way for the $400 voucher. So if I can, I don't know, I'm just going to give God the glory right.
That's awesome. Thank you, Hannah. And I love it. You're right about timing. I mean, it may, you may be doing a lot of seed planting this month that may come into fruition next month or the month after. So when you work, you will be rewarded, right? And it's when you're not working and you're like, why isn't this happening for me? I am posting on Facebook. That's not working, right? We still have to follow up, and we have to build relationships and give them purpose and reason why they need to join us in our journey, right? Okay, Miss Kylie, are you ready to share with us?
Yes. Can y'all hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So first of all, I do apologize. My voice, it sounds a lot better than it did when I woke up this morning, but it's gone. I am a singer and totally oversang, and it's like, blah. But I also have got my 2-year-old running around, so I'm hoping to like really stay focused. Okay. So I wrote down a few things that I have been doing this month, or that I've kept in mind that I feel like were really helpful. So I will say, when I first heard about the free enrollment codes, I almost was like, what? Like, I've never seen this be a thing before. So I was so excited, and I feel like a fire was lit inside me, because and it made me wish that I could like join all over again, because I was like, this is so incredible. And so the first thing that I thought of is, and I'm sure you guys have a lot of these kinds of people too, but I call them on the fencers. People that you've talked to, maybe people you've been talking to for years. Every person you've ever talked to about Plexus, I feel like this was the time I was going to reach out to them, because I was like, this might be exactly what they need to finally make that commitment. Take a big step, buddy. Don't fall. There we go. Got my little buddy here. So that was the first thing I did, was made a list of all of my on the fencers, and I reached out to them. And Angela, I think, had a lot of similar phrasing that I did, but I wanted to read to you kind of some of the phrases that I was using in these messages, because something with Plexus that I have been very, very pleased with since working the business is that I can stay true to myself, and that there is truly a way to come across so genuine and very low pressure. And I think at least a lot of my friends need that. So here's some of the phrasing I would use. I would tell them what the deal was. Hey, oh my gosh, my company, or Plexus, if we've talked about it, gave me a few codes to give out to some friends. And I would love for you to have one of those codes if that would be helpful for you. A lot of times I use that phrase, if that would be helpful, or if that would be a blessing for you. Or sometimes I'll say, Plexus gave me a few codes to give out to friends, and I thought of you. Because that's true. And I want them to know that they came to my mind. And so that's what I would send to like on the fencers. or people that I've ever talked to about Plexus before. Even if it's been, a year or two, I would call that out and say, hey girl, I know it's been so long since we've talked about Plexus, but here's the deal. And then I would go into the spiel about that. I also looked at my virtual office and looked at any customers that I had that were consistently ordering 100 PV or more, because I thought, oh my gosh, perfect timing. They're already consistent. They would be active ambassadors, if they were to upgrade. So I had 2 of my 6 were customers of mine, that this was just what they needed to take that next step. And then the next thing I did that I'm so passionate about is creating momentum and urgency on social media. You have to be excited when you're posting, especially with this kind of deal. Like, this is such an incredible deal that you have to be excited about it, right, buddy? Yeah, he's so excited. So I made sure to create that momentum on social media. And so I've got this like trusty letterboard back here. I don't know if you can see it. I love that letterboard, and I use it all the time for Plexus, because I think for me, and at least for my audience on Facebook, the countdown idea, for some weird reason, you guys, always works. It always creates momentum with people, because they think, oh my gosh, and they see this number going down every few days, and they're like, oh, I gotta get it, So it creates this urgency. And so I would say to definitely create urgency and momentum and excitement on social media. And then don't do that every day, but like what I would do is give a letterboard update with like how many codes I had left. And then in between those days, I'd be posting like all my personal stuff about my life, about Carter, about my husband, and then I would have Plexus testimonies in there, or picture of me with my pink drink, like spaced in between. But I will say with this kind of incentive that I could not rely on social media alone. I think I got trapped for the longest time in the beginning of working my business, thinking that it was just posting on social media. Hilarious. And so I had to really think about that it's a team effort between using social media, but also reaching out is absolutely key. I'm all about voice messages. Maybe that's why I lost my voice. I'm sending out too many voice messages. But I'm all about that because people can hear your heart and your tone of voice. And then the last thing before my voice gives out is that I would write down when to follow up with people. I'm a really big planner personality, and I know that if I don't write it down, or at least make a note somewhere, like it's not going to happen. And with this kind of thing, since it's only March specific, I would, if I had talked to somebody, I would wait like 3 or 4 days, and then I would write down 3 or 4 days later, follow up with Jennifer or whoever. Just to make sure that like I was staying on top of my people, because seriously, what is the date? It's the 19th. There's so much time left. It's like half the month is left, and there's so much left that can happen. And so, the biggest thing I did was just make a big list of people. I had a memo in my phone that said codes, and I just like wrote all these names down of on the fencers, people I'd ever talked to, consistent preferred customers, and just reached out to them, sent voice messages, and created that momentum on social media and create that excitement for people, both in your social media posts, but also in your messages, especially if they're voice messages. I feel like that's really good too. So that's what I got.
Yeah.
And your voice worked the whole time.
It worked. I prayed for that.
Well, good. You gave us some great tips, and I like your little your countdown sign. And I think people are looking. Is she going to post another sign? Is she going to post another sign? I'm looking. I'm like, wait, where's her next sign? How many does she have left? Just 2 left. Okay, she's going to get them soon.
And now we have Douglas's codes, my husband's codes.
That's right.
I would love, I think we already have one of his about to be used, but now I'm like, okay, I told him, okay, babe, go stand out there. I'm going to take your picture with the letterboard. And so
I love it.
Carter thinks that's hilarious. But yeah, so anyway, the countdown's fun.
I think Carter needs to hold the sign.
Dad
has codes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. Thanks, Alicia.
Daddy has codes. Look at me. I'm cute. He'll get people to join for sure. So y'all be sincere. Isn't that great that Plexus allows us to reach out to our friends and be ourselves, and we don't have to try to say, things that may not be us, you know. I mean, I remember back in one of my first sales jobs outside of college, like they would give us scripts to say, and I'm like, this doesn't even, why would I say this? I would never say this, you know? So I love that it, like you said, it allows us to be us, and we can talk to our friends and people that we know, and they trust us. Okay. Did we have anybody else, Beth? Where'd you go? I can't find you. Lost you.
I'm here. No, I think that's all.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready to do our little mini power hour? We have some good ideas and some good.
Are y'all ready? Yes, we're ready.
The
Okay,
challenge
so
part.
this is really going to be super quick. I know we're getting to our time is almost, but we thought we have these great ideas. We have some things to say. Let's just do it together, because I know so many times if I sit here while we're on this, I'll get so much done on these, like, because y'all are all, we're all doing it together. So we're just going to take like 3 or 4 minutes for each of these. I'll have 3 things to do. And then if y'all have questions, put them in there. And then at the very end, if y'all have a question, you can ask us out loud too. So, okay. So the first thing we're going to do, this is such a great deal for people to go wholesale. So I want you to reach out to any customer that you've ever had, not even that is a customer now. I mean, you do your customer now as well, but any customer you have ever had. Now, in saying that, do not do it if it's a customer that orders ProBio and that's it every month, because that's not what we want. You want to do it to people who are ordering $100 PV every single month, but I want you to reach out to them and just say, hey, I know you're ordering Plexus right now. I have an amazing deal. Our company has given me 6 codes. I have however many you have left. I have 3 left. I would love to share this opportunity with you. The first, you would just buy your welcome pack, which the products are discounted even cheaper. And then you would get wholesale pricing for the year. I would message them that. If it's a customer that used to order Plexus, you can say, guys, we need to use right now, we have so many people on this new Slim Down Challenge that are having amazing results. And so I know I've reached out to a lot of my old customers and said, hey, I know you've ordered Plexus before. Our products, we have 3 amazing new products just in the past few months, and they're yielding amazing results. So message, 4 or 5 customers that you have right now. I'll give you about 3 or 4 minutes, but go ahead and message them, and then we'll hop back on. Okay, how'd that go? Did everybody get some customers messaged? I know I did. It took me a second. I had to type one out that I was talking to. Okay, the next 3 or 4 minutes, let's message people that are on the fence. So people that you have ever talked to about Plexus. I've been here 6 years. This past year, I signed a girl that I've been talking to for 5 years, and she finally joined. She joined as a customer, loved the products, upgraded to an ambassador, has been ordering the products every single month. Every time I check on her, she's like, I absolutely love these products. So I'm here to tell you, consistency and follow-up are absolutely huge. I know I posted the other day. I'm going to pull it up real fast, and I'm going to read it to you, but y'all go ahead and start this while I read this to you. About follow-up. Follow-up is absolutely the key. I could have given up real easily. And I'm sure that there's some that I hopefully haven't forgotten, but I probably have over the past 5 years. But I literally followed up with this girl for 5 years. Not every day, not every week, not every month in the 5 years. But I did follow up with her. Every time we get a new product, I would send it. And she finally joined. So 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. Okay, so this is the crazy part. Only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth. And 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. Guys, we have to keep following up. People tell me no all the time. It doesn't mean I stop never sharing with them again, okay? You have to follow up. This is a perfect time to follow up. So for the next 3 or 4 minutes, let's just hop on and follow up with people who you ever have talked to about Plexus. Okay, I hope that y'all got some of those done. So the next, just 2 or 3 minutes, like I said, super short, we're gonna message 5 scary people. This is hard for me. People that scare you, they might even be on your chicken list, but people that just scare you. Some people just scare me. So we're gonna message 5 people and just say, it can be simple. It could be the simple message. It can be, hey, I'm sure you've seen my Plexus post. Have you ever tried it? It can get the ball rolling, whatever you think. But for the next, we'll just say 3 minutes, 11:25, message 5 people or as many as you can, scary people. All right. How did it go? Did y'all get some people message in the past few minutes? I know I did.
That's too quick.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to give you another minute? Okay.
Go take another minute.
Take another minute.
We're doing chicken list, y'all. We got to think about this. You get another minute.
Okay. All right. That was a couple more, and y'all can obviously keep going. But any questions? Any concerns? Anything? You can unmute for a minute. Oh, Alicia, do you want to stop the recording if they unmute to say something?